So today we're going to be cutting up a shirt. We're going to be making a detailed shirt for that matter. Try as much as possible to make the shirt very detailed. Welcome everybody. We're waiting for more people to join. I know it's been a while. It's been a while. Let's wait for more people to join so we can go ahead and cut the shirt. It's gonna be a detailed one, like I said, very detailed one for everybody to understand and how you can go about it. Right? So I'm going to be cutting the shirt on a smaller piece, but you can follow up each and every steps I'll be doing here to be able to make your own shirt. This is day 3 challenge. Day 3. So like I said, this shirt is going to be the most detailed step, very, very detailed and understanding. So first thing, I'm going to try to put my fabric as straight as possible. So while waiting for people to join, okay, I'll put my fabric straight as possible while waiting for more people to come in. Just draw some straight line. Once we are more here, then we can go ahead and start. And just what I'm trying to do here is just to put my pieces as straight as possible. Okay. Alright, let's see this one. I just want to make sure that the pieces are straight as possible. Okay. So we are going to be cutting up a shirt. You know, when you're cutting up a shirt, let me first of all start to explain to you. You know, when you're cutting up a shirt, you need measurement. This shirt, I'm about to make the bigger version for a man. You know, when you're making a male shirt, it's quite very different like when you're making a female shirt. When you're making a female shirt, you will definitely need the shoulder measurement, the round bust, the waist if you want it fitted. If it is a long shirt, you will need the hip measurement. And the sleeve length, the round armhole, and the round neck, those are the measurements we need. But for a man, instead of using the bust measurement, you need the chest, the shoulder, the round armhole, sleeve length, and the upper arm, and the total length of the shirt. Those are just the different you will need to know when you're creating up your male shirt. So when you want to cut this shirt, it is a very simple shirt with a placket in front. First thing, you go ahead and fold your fabric into two. That's because I want to cut the front and the back. I folded the back piece is longer than the front by 4 inches. Okay, remember I said again, the back piece is going to be longer than the front by 4 inches. This is, I just create this for my placket, but we're going to be using that later on. Let's move this aside. This is my front piece. If I put it on this piece right there, align it up here, you will notice that I have inches that is longer than the front. What I have there is about 4.5 inches. You can even leave more because you still need sewing allowance. Okay, so first thing what we want to do, I will place my back and front piece on it like this. folded, right side facing right side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here like this. I will go down by normally if you're working on a bigger side, you're supposed to go down by 2 inch from here. All right, but because I'm working on a smaller size, okay, let me just do 1.5 inch. You're supposed to go down here, this part here, 2 inch. All right, then what you want to do is just to go ahead and connect it up like this, like this. If there's anything you're not understanding, kindly let me know. I'm going to cut this part off all the way to this part. All right, now that we have this up, what I'm going to do, I've just cut this up. I went down by 2 inch. I have cut this part up. So what I'm going to do, I want to make sure that 4 inch I left here, I'll be able to pull up the back piece like this. So this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I left 4 inch. So if I put it up like this, I still have my 4.5 inch, including my allowance. If there's anything you're not understanding, let me know. This is 4.5 inch. So I'm going to make sure that I pull it to where 4 inch is. This is 4 inch. 4 inch each. So I'm going to pull this down to where that 4 inch is. This is my 4 inch. Then I will put pins to secure that up, making sure the front pieces. And remember that this shirt, it does not have button. It is just a simple shirt with placket. If I was making a shirt that has button, I would have made the front piece to be longer. Like I would have left at least 2 inch here for my buttonhole. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm simply going to go ahead and fold this part up like this. I want to be able to fold it up to meet this other part. When you fold it, you realize that this part is a little bit longer. Don't worry, don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up. You can fold it up around, just to meet around. You should have at least 1/2 inch here that you'll be able to join it up. So let me just go ahead and mark that 1/2 inch. So I'm marking up my 1/2 inch. So I'll be folding up that piece to meet that 1/2 inch. That 1/2 inch is what I will be using to join up the shoulder measurement. I hope that part is clear. If there's anything you're not understanding, let me know. So I've just drawn a line of 1/2 inch. I have to go ahead now, fold this up like this to meet that 1/2 inch. What I will make sure to do right now is to make sure that I go ahead and press this flat with my ironing board to lay everything flat. So let me bring my ironing board. I believe I can do that. No. Let me go ahead and press that up and come back and show you the next step. Okay, what is that? I am done folding that up. As you can see, I have bring it up to the 1/2 inch. This is the 1/2 inch. I just fold it up and I bring it to this 1/2 inch right there. And I did not even mention this, when you're cutting this piece, you make sure that it's not half, it's 1/4 of your chest measurement. Then you're going to go ahead, you'll be adding 3 extra inches to it, if in case you need to adjust anything from there. So I've just folded up that 4 inch that we have like this. Why do I have to fold this? Why did I fold this? Shirt Male shirt sometimes, it's not sometimes. If you notice, the front is like, it comes, the back is come right here like this, okay? The back come right here. You see like a line here. That's because they always do this. And that's because the front is shorter than the back piece. So now that I have folded into two like this to meet up that half inch, I'm going to go ahead now to start putting up my measurement. So I have to go ahead and put my shoulder measurement. So my shoulder measurement here is 7 inch. I'm just going to go ahead and mark up. Um, let me say 7 inch. I'm marking up that 7 inch. 7 inch. Now, you want to go ahead and slant it down by 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. Move now to the armhole depth, which is 7 inch. Draw a straight line like this. And also draw a straight line from here to here like this. Now we are going to go ahead now and mark the neck depth and the neck width. Neck depth, neck width is by taking round neck divided by 6. Okay, so like I said, the neck depth of the back is gonna be the neck depth of the back is gonna be 1.5 inch, while the neck width, or no, the neck depth is gonna be 3 inch. The neck width is 3 inch. If you're not that sure of that, you go ahead, take round neck, divide it by 6. Then you round neck divided by 6, whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and mark that up. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark that 3 inch, and I'll also be sure that here that I have that 3 inch. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it up like that, straight. Then we're just going to go ahead and connect it up like that, because it's a round neck. It's a round neck, okay? And take note that what I did not mention, remember that we had already slant this down. We had already slant it down. Where is that piece? This piece that I cut, which was about 1.5 inch. Automatically, we have already slanted it down. So we are not going to be slanting it like, for example, we used to go ahead and do it up like this. For this tutorial, we're not going to be doing that because we had already slanted it down. So simply what we're going to do is to mark up the measurement from here. I forgot about that. To mark up a measurement from here, which is 7 inch. Do I have a piece to wipe this up? I totally forgot about that. So 7 inch, which is right there. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead now, just measure up whatever we have here and divide it by 2, which is 7. Divided by 2 is going to give 3.5. Go in by 1/2 inch. You can go in by 3/4 inch. Come here on the chest line. You put 1/4 of the bust. This case, you make sure that you put your measurement. Okay, make sure that you put your measurement and you're also sewing allowance. This is just a small tutorial. I'm demonstrating. Okay, so make sure that you add at least your 2 inch of sewing allowance. Okay, then now from this point, I'm just going to go ahead. I'll be connecting it up from this 1/2 inch. I mean from the top part here, like this to the 1/2 inch. I'm using my free hand so you people can see. Then we're gonna bring it up like this, all the way to that measurement. Okay? So after doing so, what we want to do is to go ahead now, mark up the length of our shirt. Want to be able to mark the length of our shirt. I'm checking because I don't have network myself. I don't know what happens. Mark the length of my shirt. Remember the length here, I'll be using, what I have here is about 21 inch. I'm gonna mark 21 inch. Then measure up whatever you have on the chest. You know, men, you don't really need to be putting any fitting. The shirt is just as straight as possible. What I have there is about 8 inch. Let's see what I have there. Is it? I'll add 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and I'm going to go ahead and connect that point up all the way straight downward, all the way straight downward. We're gonna do, connect these points up like that. Okay, then and you're gonna see how I'm going to be cutting up the neck width and the neck depth of the back. Don't make mistake, I'm going to chop everything up. So come here. You can make it in such a way that the back should be, the front is always more deeper than the back. This is what I have, right? Now this is how I'm going to be cutting up the neck depth. So look at how I'm going to be doing it. The connection. I'm going to pick up the front, cut it up like this. You see the way I'm cutting it? Pick up this back, and you see the way I'm cutting it, right? So you should not go ahead and make a mistake while you are cutting yours, because as you saw it, I just marked 3 by 3. You can go ahead and just cut this up. No, you're not supposed to do so. So I've just cut that part up, and I'm going to just go ahead and cut this piece. Okay? This is what you should have. You see the neck depth of the front. You see the neck width of the back. All right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I don't know why this connection is disturbing. What I'm going to do is to go ahead now and open this up by this. If I do this, automatically you'll see that the back is much longer than the front. Now, if you want to make a sleeve, you don't go ahead to make the sleeve using the front armhole measurement. If you use the front armhole measurement, the back, you will notice that it will be shorter. So to avoid that, what you're simply going to do is you will just place this up like this, just this 1/2 inch, or you join it up. Go ahead, then measure up. After joining it up, you measure up whatever you have from here to here. For example, this is what I mean. Like for example, if I go ahead now, measure up whatever I have on this front here. What I have there is about 7.5 inch. But what I will be having at the back piece will be more longer than the back. So this is 7 inch. Go ahead now. I have about 11.5 inch. So what I advise you to do is when making up your sleeve, make sure that these pieces are being joined like this, because these pieces, normally we are going to join them up like this. Okay? You place it up like that. You notch the center here because you have to notch the center of the sleeve as well. Make sure that this part here, it is at the center so that you will not go ahead and place your sleeve at the wrong place. Measure from this part like this all the way like this all the way to here. What I have there is about 9.025. Okay, like I said, the shirt, we're going to be adding up a placket to it. So what you want to do is to come down. You know this shirt, there's no button. So if you don't add up extend this up, it will not be able to pass. What I'm going to do is just to come here. I'll be marking um I'll be going down 5 inch. You can even do 5 or 6 inch. I'm going down 5 inch. For an adult, you can do 8 inch. Okay. So this is how I'm going to go ahead and open this up to that 5 inch. When I get there, I stop. Okay, that's how the front is going to be. Now we're going to go ahead and make up our sleeve. And this is going to be for my placket at the front. I had already gone ahead. What I have there is about, I did not even measure it when I was cutting it. What I have there is 2.5 inch. I fold about let's say quarter inch both sides. I folded it, press that up, then you fold it again at the center, you press it up. That's the placket of the front. Now let's go ahead and create up one sleeve. I'm going to be creating one sleeve because you already know this is just to demonstrate on how to go about it. So for the sleeve, simply go ahead, fold your fabric into two. Fold your fabric like this into two. Fold the fabric like that into two. After folding it into two, I am going to go ahead and draw a straight line, which is going to be the guide, and as well, which is going to be the guideline. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'll be drawing a straight line like this. After drawing that straight line, what I have to do now is to go ahead and mark the sleeve cap. To get a sleeve cap, what do? You take round bust, divide it by 12. Round bust divided by 12, then you go ahead and add ½ inch to it. Okay, that's exactly how you can go ahead and get your sleeve cap measurement. Exactly how you can go ahead and get a sleeve cap measurement. Some people, they will not tell you. They'll just say, okay, come down here by 4 inch, come down here by 5 inch. 5 inch can be bigger for you, while 4 inch can be smaller for you. So take round bust divided by 12, then you add ½ inch to it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up 4 inch, and I'll rule a straight line. Rule a straight line. After doing so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark up whatever I have on the armhole, measure on the armhole here. All right, on the armhole here. So I'm going to go ahead now. I will mark that 9.025. If I'm not mistaken, which is right there. Then let me take you through step by step. What some people normally say, they will say, okay, once you've done marking this up, you go ahead and draw like an S. Draw like an S. Okay, but I'm going to take you step by step. I want this tutorial to be really, really understandable for you. So I'm going to draw a straight line from that point like this. After drawing my straight line, I'll measure up whatever I have from these 2 points. All right, divide it by 2. What I have is 10.025 divided by 2 is going to give me 5.2. mark up the center. From that center, you're going to go up. Normally, some people go up here by 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to go up by 3/4 inch. You see? Now, what I'm going to do, you can come here like this. From this part, you can go in by 3 inch. Then from that 3 inch, you're just going to go ahead and connect it up like that. But before you go ahead and connect it up like this, you want to measure the center of this point to this point, which is 5.2. Then we'll just go ahead and mark up the center of it. Mark up the center. Go down by 1/2 inch. You don't want to make it too deep. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass through that 1/2 inch that I've just marked, making sure it is not too deep, because if it is too deep, you're going to have some issue right there. You see what I've just have there? Pass through that 1/2 inch, making sure it is not too deep. Now, once you're done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to measure up the length of the sleeve. Normally, I was supposed to do this before doing all this. So the length, let's make it 8 inch. 8 inch. I'm going to go ahead and connect it up like that. Straight line. Now, I'll have to go ahead and take the upper arm, which is this part here. Divide it. That's where the sleeve is ending. Divide it by 2. Okay? Assuming that mine was 15 inch, divide it by 2 is going to give me 7.5 at 1 inch, or 3/4 inch. After that, just go ahead and rule a straight line like that. See what I've just done there? You see? That is how you can go ahead and cut up the sleeve. Make sure to add the hemming allowance. Then, making sure to also not too deep, making sure that you leave the allowance you're going to be joining it to the top. Notch this part up. Have notched this up. Then now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be adding up. I want this to add a placket to it, but it seems like. Let's see what I have there. I'm coming with this. I think this one is going to be shorter. I want to add this turnover sleeve. You know those sleeve now. I think this part is going to be shorter. If it is not shorter, I will use it. If not, I'll just have to leave it up like that. Okay. Let's see what we have there. I think it's shorter. Ooh, okay, it's not short, so it's good. So this is about 2 inch, just to show you something you can make use of your sleeve. I mean, to turn it, to decorate it anytime you want. Okay, now, like I said, I'm adding just one sleeve because I want you people to be able to see what I am doing. Sorry about that. Now, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. People will get more from you soon if you know how you. This is me demonstrating on a measurement, and you are still telling me if I'm demonstrating. You're not there from the beginning. That's why you didn't see me. I started from the measurement. So So what we're going to do is to go ahead and join the pieces together. So we move this aside, we move this one aside, and we move this aside. What we're going to focus on is this part. So there are either two ways you can join this up. You can instead go ahead, fold half an inch like this in here, then you top stitch. But if you want to fold half an inch, you need to add half an inch here. Okay, so let me just do this up. If you want to fold half an inch, because sometimes you see shirt, they have a stitch here like this, a stitch right there. If you want to do so, make sure that you add half an inch here. All right, so this is what I'm going to do, is to open this up. I'm going to go ahead, place my shirt like this, a shirt like this. Why is this place curved like that? So I'm gonna place, let me go ahead and quickly correct this up. It's looking funny right there. So open this up like this. As you can see, it's quite wider. Then pick up the front, place the right side facing the right side. You're gonna stitch it up by half an inch. You're gonna stitch it up by half an inch. I'm gonna stitch it up by half an inch, and I'm gonna do the same right there, making sure everything is good and safe, everything is nice and cool like that. Then I'm also gonna do the same thing here, join this up like that, like this. I will stitch half an inch, I will stitch half an inch. Then after stitching, I'm gonna pull this up like this for this to come down. Then I press this up and press it up right at the center which we mark. You have to pull this down so that it should meet the armhole of the front. Pull the armhole of the back, sorry. Pull this up, all right? No sound. Hey! Oh my God. Sorry. What happened? This thing is low. I connected it from the beginning. I don't know what happened. The battery is low. What happened? No idea. I connected it from the beginning. So I'm gonna be stitching this up and stitch this up. Okay. Then after stitching, I'm gonna pull it up to fit up this part. Okay. Let me quickly go ahead and demonstrate that up. I don't know why the network is bad. I cannot even read comment. The network is bad. Network is bad. I didn't even realize there's no sound. I don't know what happened. This thing, I don't know if it went off or what happened. Por favor. Is this showing there? Let me go out. Come back, Anita. There you go. You come here. Oh, my connection, I don't know what happened, but it's just kind of very slow. It's not that I'm even realizing that the live stream connection is very slow. I don't know what happened. It's either the one of this other part is good. Connection on Facebook is quite very vexed. I don't know if it is that phone. But anyway, so we are showing a shadow. I'm gonna join this part up. this by half an inch, like I did mention, half inch. It's a simple shade we're making. Oh my god, I've not even started. The thread has started coming out. The thread is really coming out. So I'm sorry guys, that network wahala today is it's not really good. Thank God I even have my tablet here, even though I would have just been making and going without noticing that there's no Facebook, it's not working. Okay, so now we're going to be stitching. I'm going to stitch half an inch. Half inch. Then I'll do the same thing here. Half inch. This is just to demonstrate. Now, what I'm going to do, after stitching this half inch, I'm going to pull this up like this. Pull this up to join the side together. When you pull this up, automatically it's going to meet the shoulder of the, the armhole of the back. You see, when you pull it up, you have something like this. Automatically, this is going to adjust. So I'm going to pull this up like this to meet up the back armhole. And I'm going to stitch the side seam by half an inch. That's what I've added. Now, what I'm going to do is to press this flat, and I'll also press this to lay it flat. I'm going to press this seams here. I'll open it and press it flat like this. And I also do the same thing. All right. Okay, I have pressed this flat. As you can see, this is what we have, right? And the neck is like this on the back, right? And this part here is open, because if it is not open, remember, the head cannot pass through because there's no buttonhole here. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to be adding up the placket. Remember that we did mark, we did mark 5 inch downward, 5 inch downward. We mark our 5 inch from here downward like this, 5 inch downward. I'm just going to mark up this point. From this point, want to just kind of create small little can I say small little curve, all right, like a triangle, just to cut it up like that. Is it even it's good for me to do. So you're just going to go ahead and open it up like this in a triangle form, a little bit, just a bit. Okay, you see what I've just done, right? Triangle form, have something like this. Okay, now what we want to do is just go ahead. I'm going to bring this piece. I will advise you that before you go ahead and do so, before you go ahead to add this, make sure that you do this before adding up your shoulder together, so that will be more easier for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this up like this, and I'm going to stitch it all the way round to this other part. That's the reason why I said you should I'm thinking you should first of all do this before adding up the shoulder or the side seam, so that will be more easier for you to manipulate. All right, so the idea for us to do now, you want to start from this top part, go ahead, join this over like this, and we're also going to grab this piece up. Let me go ahead and quickly unstitch one of the side seams, so that will be easier for us to work on it. I'm sweating already. Places are hot. Is that iron? Alright, I'm gonna do this so that will be easier for me to work on. Sorry, you have to do that before, so that it will be easy. Okay, you see now I can easily go ahead and round that up. That's why I was saying that you should have added this before going ahead to add up the shoulder. But this, we are going to simply go ahead now, take it over, try as much as possible. Let me notch this again a little bit more inside. I'm going to add this up. As you can see, I've just folded it up. I'll be adding from this part all the way like this, and I'm going to stitch like this. I'll be stitching. You can instead stitch, you can stitch from the right side, from the wrong side all the way to the, after that you flip it up. Okay, but since I've just done so, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch from this part. Remember I said it is good for you to add this up before adding up your shoulder together. So I'm going to quickly take my time, go ahead and do that straight and smooth. Try as much as possible. Go through it a bit by bit, step by step, making sure that nothing is being wrapped. Like I said, do this before adding up your before joining the shoulder to it. It's going to be more easier for you to do so. So when I get here, I'm going to try as much as possible just to put this straight. Okay, this part here, I'll put it straight to stitch so that it will be easier. Just as possible to put it as straight as possible. So when we are done kind of having this up, attaching it up, you see that we have something like this, which is looking very funny. But don't worry, we're going to adjust it up now. So what you want to do is just to go ahead. I'm going to press this up in a triangle form. I'm going to press this part up and also press this up, so that what we should have here at this edge here should be a small triangle. I don't know if you're understanding, like this, a small triangle. But before I do so, I'm going to cut this part up. Okay, this is what we have. This is what we have. You see, I'll have to go ahead and press this up. If I press this up, I'll end up having something like this in a triangle form, right? Like this. Okay, and this part, simply we're going to just bring it up like this, making sure that this part align up like this to have that triangle. Want to press it up to relax it up. This part here is going to be open. So let me quickly run and go ahead and press it up to lay everything flat. Okay. Okay, now that we're done pressing that up, we have something like this. It is almost covered, but it is not covered. Now see, we have something like this, and this edge here is a little bit of a triangle. A triangle, it needs to go inside. So we're going to just take it like this, and we're stitching from here like this, like this, like this, to create up the triangle and bring it up here. All right, and then this other part is going to be open. Okay, and this part, since it's going to be a little bit thick, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sew this needle, but anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and stitch from here, from where I mark, making sure this part here is flat. Not from here. This. Okay. Okay. See, we have something like this, open, and we also have like this, you can see, but we have not turned up the neck, this part here. Okay, like I said, just notch this part. We have it up like that. If you're making it for adult, make sure that this part here, remember the front we did went down by 3 inch. Make sure that the front you go down by 5 or 6 inch. If not, it's not going to pass through. All right, or either you make this part a little bit, like I said, 8 inch. What I use there is about 5 inch on a normal cha. So I even tore this thing. So now, like I said, I'm going to be adding up the sleeve, just one side of it. Right, before we even go ahead to add up the sleeve, you need to create up a turn up for your neck. All right, let me see what I have there. You make it tiny, or you have to cut up a piece before you even add this part up. You're supposed to go ahead and add up that, turn your neckline first for it to be neat before you go ahead to add up this part. All right, or you can do it whenever you want. So I'm going to go ahead and add up one sleeve of it. Where is that piece? I said I wanted to make design the sleeve a little bit. So what I'm going to do, this is the wrong side, this is the wrong side, so I'm stitching it, this part here, from the wrong side. I have to stitch this part here from the wrong side of the sleeve. Now this one I had already folded again into two, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this up like this from the wrong side of the sleeve by, let's just say, half an inch. Okay, I don't know why this thing first of all went off. Half an inch, making sure I stitch. So after doing so, you want to just flip it up like this. You can flip it up like this. Remember, with this stitch towards the wrong side, so this is the neat part. Now what you want to do is to take this up. You want to stitch, top stitch it, top stitch facing, the band of the sleeve. Okay, top stitch facing the band of the sleeve. Top stitch, like I say again, facing the band of the sleeve. I'm gonna top stitch, top stitch, so once I'm done doing so, the next thing I want to do is to go ahead now. I'm going to press this up in such a way that the top stitch as top stitch is going to be a fold from the inside like this. This part here is going to be from the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and press this up to lay this flat. This part is going to be towards the right side. So this is what we have. The idea is when you fold it over like this to the right side, you have something like this. When you fold it over like this, you should have this design right there. All right, so you can see. But I advise you that when you actually do this, make sure that what you have here should be bigger so that you'll be able to hide this thread in here. The thread, this stitch here that we've just top stitch here, you should be able to hide it. All right, okay, so let's go ahead and quickly stitch to the one side of it, and if there's anything looking funny right there, make sure you just go ahead and trim that up. Now if you notice that anything is looking funny, make sure that you go ahead and trim that up and put it as straight as possible. Right, okay, so I already notched the center of this, and I also notched the center of my sleeve. I'm going to be joining right side facing right side like this, making sure it's going to reach. Okay, I make sure that you notch where you'll be pinning, and also make sure that the back is more deeper than the front, like 0.25. Now take that time, go ahead and just stitch this up. I'm a pin, making sure I'm not pulling anything out. Come here and bring this over. Let's check, why is this much? Okay, my pin, making sure it's not being, at least it should not be kind of fold or twisted around there. Everything should be just as smooth as possible. Take that time, go through it step by step. It is always advisable for your sleeve to be bigger than for it to be smaller. So what I have there, let me check, did I even measure this well? Like this, I have about 2 in, which is kind of very strange. Pin, and pin. I have this much use allowance bigger, which is quite very strange. But anyway, let's see. Let's see this other side. Now should bring the center together and go ahead and pin this other side, making sure I'm not pulling anything. Everything should be straight as possible. And here I still have it, that allowance, the smudge allowance. So I added just 1 inch here, which what I have is about 1.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and stitch wherever it's standing. Cut that up. Sorry, I'm sweating. I don't know why I'm sweating like this. My iron is on. So I'm going to stitch from the center. From my center, 1/2 inch. sure nothing should be pulled around there. If you feel like there's anything twisted, remove your pins and arrange them. I remove my pin and arrange them up. Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Remove my pin. Check everything up before trimming it up. Check, flip it to the side and shake it off and shake it off. Now I can go ahead and press that on. I always like to press this up before trimming of anything I don't want from there. Press it up to make sure if everything is good. So okay, now I have some extra stitches and fabric that I don't need. I'm gonna trim this a little bit right there. Then flip it again, join this up. This time around I make sure that I join it up like this part. I said the right side, this is the right side. So this time around I make sure that I join this up like this. Okay, you see, join this part, meeting up the front, bring this part up here, joining them up, and I'll stitch the other side. Like I said, I was going to be adding the sleeve just for the one side of it, because normally my main aim was to show you on how to cut a shirt. Now, as you can see, I have not turned up the neck like I did said before. Before you go ahead and add up this placket to it, you have to go ahead and turn it up. Alright, or you can see add it now, but make sure not to add up this part here. This part should be open, so that will be easier for you to work on this part. So after doing so, just give it a little bit of trim what I don't have here. This part is thick. Zigzag, if you have a zigzag machine, or if you have an overlock that up. You see, this part is going to come like this. If you want, what you can do, this part here, you add a hemming gum to it to stick it up to it. Okay, hemming gum to stick it up to it like this. If not, just leave it up like you can see it here. Let this place twisted like that. Yeah, because you can leave it up like that. You trim this a little bit of a lock, and our shirt is ready to wear. It's not ready to wear because we have this part here remaining and this other armhole, but I will not be adding the sleeve, this other sleeve to it, because like I said, just to demonstrate on how you can go about it. Now you can add up a button here, add up a button here at the front right there, right? Make sure you make it neat and nice. Now turn the neck and your sleeve is good to go. Make it for your little ones, or your little ones, or your little ones. So I hope you find this tutorial helpful. Then when you're done turning this part up, hem that up. You can use a hemming gum to keep everything neat and add up this other sleeve. If you want, you can even add a pocket somewhere around here. Right, ready to go. So I hope you find it helpful. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment and share. Look at how I'm sweating and oil. Like, comment and share. I hope to see you some other time. Bye. I'm sweating already. Okay guys, bye bye.